Greetings, this is garthrs, the tireless adventurer, with another episode of Slowbuild Dreadnaught style. Alright, I got a lot of comments, a lot of feedback on episode 9 and 10. I really want to say, first of all, thanks for that. I appreciate every single comment you guys give. Every time you click the like button, it means the world to me. I really appreciate it. You just don't even know how much that support means to a YouTuber. And I just accidentally deleted that. No. Anyways, let me show you what I did. Let me turn off the symmetry real fast, unset, and I place this Canon computer down, and then we come in here and I'll show you what I was going to do. Remember I talked about this being like a ginormous thing? Well, here's the thing. I've got that selected. I can just hit V on all this stuff. But basically what I've designed here is, I think, let's see, how many is it? 1460. Not too shabby. As far as salvage cannons, because I lost my words for a minute there. I was like, I have words, but I don't have words. I'm just stupid, and I totally accidentally deleted that freaking Canon computer because I was in symmetry mode and I was trying to set up the other side for, you know, offensive weapons and stuff like that, and I totally freaking brain farted. Yeah, that's me, brain farter extraordinaire. And effectively what's going to happen here is this is going to fire through this. So it's going to kind of look like this is the point of origin for it, I suppose, as it were. Let's see, boom, boom, boom. And the cannons themselves, Magrum Leadbeard let me know that the cannons won't destroy the lava, so we are totally going to set those up behind the lava. And I figured what we do this time is we talk about a little bit of our offensive up to and including turrets. We're probably not going to be building any turrets right away because I want to pick out where I'm going to put them and what each one of them does and all this other nonsense like that. So it's totally going to be one of those feedback ones where what you guys tell me is going to help a great deal, and I don't even know if you guys understand how much that stuff means to me, but you know, without getting all sappy and gooey, I'm just going to say thank you, because without your guys' feedback, literally I'd just be that weirdo talking to himself in the converted garage. That's how I do. All right, so let's make sure I captured them all. Where is my Canon computer? Why is that not showing up there? That was a Canon computer. Okay, so let's select this and then select that, and now they should be linked together. So 1460 out of 1460 supreme. All right, so let me show you what I did, because the feedback I predominantly got was the existing design looks pretty cool, however, comma. So let's discuss a few of these things. However, comma, the floating doesn't really look like it would be able to hold the thrust of the engine, and that kind of makes sense to me. So what I did is I built a little forward support here. So I'll wedge up the back ends here in a little bit, but effectively the way this is designed is it's going to push this way, and this is going to transmit the force of the nacelle into the actual fuselage itself. And what I did is I added a little bit of beacon charge things in there. I added a little bit of lava with some cross members, you know, just to mix it up a skosh. And then we have obviously the lava for, you know, being awesome and stuff. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do back here yet. Probably going to be a couple of circles and junk like that. But there's a whole bunch of thrust in here. As you can see now, I've got approximately, with a mass of 27,000, I need at least 54,000 thrust for a 2-to-1. I don't have enough thrusters. There are quite a few. There are 41,191 thruster modules so far in this machine, and it's not enough. So that should definitely tell you something. And you can see, as I add things to the interior, the mass is going to go up exponentially. I did gut the docking bay, which I know may upset some of you guys, but I think what I came up with is a little more functional. Not as pretty, but definitely more functional. We come over here, and we see there are now 5 bays. What I'm going to do is, the server's right now in flux as far as game names go, so I think what I'm going to do is put the emblem for our server right there. I think that would be cool, because this is kind of supposed to be like a faction carrier. And then I just loaded it up with power. Once I got past the 1 million mark, I just started freaking packing it in everywhere. So There's a whole bunch of power down here, a whole bunch of conservation. I've got 1.4 million per tick regen and a capacity of 36 million. So that's not too shabby. And to give you an idea of how good that is, let's go ahead and go into here. I don't have a, do I have a thing? I have a thing. I hit it inside the doohickey. So, oh, I had beams turned off. Options. I had beams turned off because I was doing some harvesting. So let's go back here and now, as you can see, when you select this, just select it. You come down here. You'll at the very bottom of your beam unit IDs or whatever. Where's it at? No, it's at the top. Blocks per second is 1.8, so it goes almost through 2 blocks a second. Each beam does, which is not too shabby. I would like to get it up even higher, I think, but what I'm going to go for initially is just that big gutting laser thing in the front. Eventually, I'll do a stack where I do pretty much the same thing, one back and everything staggered. So I'll have twice as many salvage beams, because right now, wherever there's a cannon module, there is no salvage beam. I don't have them split like that. They're basically 20 long. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do with that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our offenses a little bit. And I think primarily offenses are kind of important. So first off, let me just go ahead and talk about this. I think Magram gave me this idea as well. To put kind of like center consoles, because these things right here, when they're faced the way they're facing, the weapons fire that direction. So these are basically aesthetics. That's all they are. So what I decided to do was put like a substation right here that actually houses the actual things for the actual things that are actual. Let me go ahead and deselect that, and then I'll put this in here. And now that I have that in there, I come down here to my membrane and click and click, and we'll go ahead and put some of the cannon barrels in there. Now what I'm going to do with these, what is this going here? Why is that doing that? Alright, well, we'll worry about that later. It's very distracting. Sorry. Let's see. Come on, where are you at? Alright, V. And V. Okay, now, so that's much better. Now we can deselect that. Alright. And we need to reselect our cannon computer, because I freaking screwed that up. Cannon computer. Yes, cannon computer. So now we come down here, and this is where we're going to do our main lasers, which are going to come out of right here. And I figured what I'll do is to make this very simple, because you can choose your output. So what? That's very disorienting. I'm going to get rid of that just for now, so that we can see through here. And I'm going to have this be the very first one, and that should totally give me 4 beginnings for that. Okay, so that's perfect. All right, so now we come up here, and now these are going to each be probably about 1,000 blocks each. Probably, well, let's go with 700 to begin with. So let me go ahead and boost this up to 3, 5, and 10. And that should be right there. Now, basically what's going to happen now with those, each individual, let's look here, we have, so each block is already 100. That was actually pretty convenient. Already 100? Is it already 100? Let's see. 10 times 5 is 50. Times 3 is 150. So they're each 150. So I need to put one more block in there for each one. Now we go in here again. And look at that's 12. Okay, so basically I'm adding 600 a click. And it does, DPS is 6,020, and the power use 7860. So real fast, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a second computer, and I'm going to test this theory. So let's turn off the symmetries real fast. Go to 9 again, and I'm just going to put another cannon right next to it that's going to be the slave. And it doesn't really matter where you put these, so that's what I'm going to do. I just need... Let me turn this lighting on. Oh, I think it was Magrum as well. Gave me a link to like a better shader so that you can actually see when you're doing this. But yeah, so I'm not like going to download that right now this very second, but it's good to know that it exists. Definitely good to know that it exists. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And then we should have 300. Oh, I forgot to turn the things on. I was like, why didn't that? Should have ate up a whole lot more than that. It didn't, Garth, because you screwed up. That's one of the downsides about doing asymmetrical builds and symmetrical builds at the same time, because you're like, okay, that should have worked. Let's go in here again, and we're just going to split these up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. And now we should have 1240. So let's take the second one and drop it on the first one. And then we come over, that's up, not forward. And then we say output, output. And you just hit R on that, and it'll make that the default output. So that's what we're going to do with that. So now we're going to get those, put the labels back. Actually, let's leave the lava out for now, because there's something else I wanted to do here. We go to this. Where was that thing I was looking at? There's no effect on it whatsoever, but it should have the reloads down quite a bit. Shots are 1, range is 2,000, cannon speed is 2,000, damage per projectile is 3,000 or 301. So let's go into this mode, drag this puppy down here, select number 2. What? That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to close this, then select number 2, and see what happens. It fires pretty quickly. Fires pretty quickly. Now, that's not all I'm going to be doing, so this is going to be pretty cool. I like that. It seems to be able to hold the power pretty good, and that makes me happy. So let's come in here. Now we've got those 4, and let's see, what else are we going to do here? I think what my plan is to do is to bring out these 2 on top and bottom, and then probably 1 more right here, so it's kind of like a total of 6 cannons. I think that would be pretty cool, especially coming out of here. That would be pretty nice. And then right above it and below it on either side, we can do damage beams with a cannon back up so that it's rapid fire. I think that would be pretty cool. We don't need a lot of weapons here on this thing, because we're going to have the swarm missiles in the back here. We're going to have turrets. Swarm missiles are going to be kind of cool. I'm going to enjoy those a great deal. If you come in here, you'll see that I've got a lot of open space, and what I'm going to basically do is create like missile silos so that the missiles fire up. And I'm pretty sure that in order for that to happen, I have to have the cannon or the missile computer literally facing up. So my plan is on probably one of these 2 aft ones right here. What I'll do is I'll have like a little overhead that comes up so that they can look up and hit the missile. So that's how I'm going to do it, instead of having extra missiles all over the place. I think that would be a good idea. You guys let me know what you think. Any comments below? I appreciate the crap out of it. All right. That is primarily the offensive. We're definitely going to spread them out there and add the 1 down the middle here with the 2 damage beams, but I don't think I have damage beam computers on me right now. Oh, I'm right here by a shop. Let me just go ahead and buy that. So we have cannons. We'll be good with that. Damage beam. Let's buy. We're only going to need one missile computer for right now. Inventory is full. That's why I can buy it. All right, that reminds me. What did I want to do? Let's put that right there. And go over here. Turn off the middle one so I don't do this freaking stupid thing I always do. And we'll put 9. All right. Yeah, okay, I turned off that. And so we have that. Let's get rid of these right here, because these are just going to be pretty much for fun right now, because I don't need a lot of stuff. Thruster modules. I have even more to put on there. Beacon, white crystal armor, which that's what this is, by the way, white crystal armor. And let's see. Let's buy the damage beam now. Missile computer 1, missile tube. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4. So let's buy 200. Because these are going to be, actually I'm going to need 200 more and a second computer. So let's go ahead and buy one more computer, and then we go to damage beam, and we're going to buy 1, 2 of those, and we're going to buy probably 2,000. Do I have enough? I do have enough credits for that. So 2,000. Oh, I don't. I thought I had 56 million. 920. Okay, so what can we sell? I'm not selling those. Could probably sell a few of these. So let's just sell 10 of those. Actually, let's sell 8 of those because I need 5. Damage beam 2, salvage computer 1. Should be good. It's good enough for now. Bobby AI didn't sell for crap. It didn't sell for hardly anything. Alright, but let's set up the first damage beam, or the missile. Let's set up the missile tubes. That would be fun. Oh, missile computer. Where did you go? There you are. Missile computer and missile silos. Where'd you go? There you go. Missile tubes. So effectively what I'm going to do here on this side now, and I'm going to have 2 of these. So let's go 7. Come on now, credit. My brain is kind of fried today because I have a pretty bad headache, but I wanted to get something out, so that's what I'm doing right now. Just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll put a missile on this side facing up. There we go. So they're going to fire up. And that will definitely help out. Okay, so let's select this one because I want this one to be primary. And then we come to the top. Well, I was like, where's the top at? Let me turn this brightness back on again. So you guys, actually that sucks, man. You can't see very well. So let me brighten things up with a couple of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay, now you can see a little bit better. What I'm going to do is pretty much starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right there. So that would definitely help out with that. So let's go down here and get our center marker. Center marker is important because we're going to be doing... Did I put it on the right spot? I did not. Center marker. Yeah, if you ever see a random block on my ship, that's probably what the purpose of that is. Alright, so now let's take 8. Well, we're going to rotate it until it's pointing up. There we go. And we're going to shoot these straight up in the air. Like that. Now these are going to be swarmers. The problem with swarmers is I believe they will attack anything. And that is not good. Alright. System block right there. Okay. So now we have 4 missile silos. Notice on all four corners here we have a missile silo. And then we come to this one right. 8. There we go. And put it right there. And bring it up. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Now these missiles will not do a lot of damage, but you know we could even go with the heat-seeking thing. That would be pretty outstanding. Let's do that. Let's go with heat-seeking instead of swarmer. And I do believe, and I'm going to test this and make sure that it's correct. Off camera before I fire these. I don't want to freaking heat-seek in on the what you call it, the shop here, wherever the shop's at, somewhere around here. There you go. Down there. That guy. I don't want to shoot that by accident. But effectively what's going to happen is, if I remember this correctly, these will go up and then they will veer into their target. And there's going to be a total of 6 silos right now. And I think what I'm going to eventually do is put 2 more silos, probably right here. Oh, went too far there. Probably right there. I'll have 2 more silos that are separate fires, so that I have also alternating cooldowns. So I'm going to click fire and then fire off a couple of lasers and then click fire. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, so let's go back up here. Now this missile system that we have right here has 84 blocks in it. So in order for us to get the heat seeking to work, we need 84 blocks for the beam computer. So let's go ahead and get the beam computer out. And it doesn't really matter how it is, but I want it to match. So let's match it up. Beam, and then we just need 84. So I figured what we would do with that is turn our freaking doohickeys back on. I love this. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. To just get a little block set up so that I never have to go wondering where the middle is. I just go right to that and it's handled. Alright, 84 blocks on damage beams, which we should have plenty of those. 8. It doesn't really matter which direction they face. Alright, there's 20. 40. There's 60. And there's 80. And then here is 84. So now we should have damage beams with 84 mated to our missiles, which gives us homing missiles. Now these are, like I said, they're not going to do a lot of damage. Like if you look at this one right here, or individual missile. The damage per missile is 6,300. That's not too shabby. It's not going to bypass a whole lot of stuff. So there is with that. See, it's not showing up here, but damage beam with its lock-on says right there. Anyway, so now we have basically 6 heat-seeking missiles of average strength. They're not like insane. Now, the 6,300 damage is not going to translate exactly to 6,300 every time the missile blows up. I think it's the impact damage is X, and then there's an area of effect damage, which is Y. So that totally works out for that. But these will be our missile tubes. I'm going to build them up a little bit right here with red. Let's do red. Red's an accent color that I think we can live with. Alright. you at? There you go. Alright. So effectively, what we'll have is this. And then on top of that, we'll have this. Very curious if the missile will fire through things, because if they will, that would totally be pretty cool. I like the way that kind of looks like a door that's opened a little bit. I think that'd be pretty cool. But if a missile will fire through hull, then I can put like one of these there. I think would look pretty cool. Where are you at? Put one of these here and one of these here. And then we can put the beacon right there, and that right there. Actually, no. I'll just do that like that. Be a little missile thing there. I think that works out pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Alright. There we go. Put this puppy together. Like that. That, that, and that, with our little 5 dealie right there. So basically our missile pods, and I'm planning on adding, like I said, 2 more right here. Probably going to be a little bit beefier missiles, and instead of building up something like this, what we'll do is we'll build like a little hatch that we can open with logic. I'm pretty sure they'll fire through it, but yeah, what do you do? Just put those up there like big missile tubes. We could even probably, I don't know, man. We could do all kinds of crap with it. That'd be pretty cool. So I think we've got a pretty good armament going on right now. So let's bring our missiles down. They're not too shabby. We got a lot of space here for turrets. What I wanted to do with a turret was kind of like block it in right here on the underside to kind of complement what's going on up here. I think that would be pretty cool. What do you think? Let's get rid of this forward and aft. Actually, no, let's not get rid of the forward and aft. Just thinking about that. I like this. You right there, and you right there, and you right there, and you right there. And we'll build up our turret base down like that. I like that. That looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool the way that worked out. Now the difference that they have set up on the server is you don't need docking modules enhancers for a regular docking module. For a turret docker, you do. You do totally need that. So what I'm going to do, let's see, did that come out in the right spot over there? It sure did. I'm going to take one of these turret docking modules, which I have an abundance of, and some enhancers. And I'm going to put turret dock right let me just put this here and this here. I need to go forward one more. Because I want it to be odd. There we go. And basically what we'll have right now is this guy who needs to be facing red out like that. We'll put him right there. And now we have 2 modules on this side and 2 modules on this side. The problem is the turret docking thing, when it flips around, it does that. So let's turn off our symmetries because we won't need those just right now. Get rid of that puppy and put it back in right so that it's not all acting fruity. Alright, now with turret modules, you do need to bring it out quite a bit. Now these are going to be fairly small. I've got an idea of how big I want them to be, and just in case you didn't know, I'll show you. Let's start with this one right here. Select it, and I'll just show you on the outside here so you can see it. Now I put 1, which makes it bigger in all directions because I've basically added 1 up, 1 back, and 1 out. And then if I come back this way, you'll notice it gets wider. And if I come down this way, you notice it gets that way, it gets taller. If I come out this way, you know, it gets deeper. So basically, it's that axis right here is how you control how these get put together. So basically, what I need to do is set that up on effectively the scale that I just gave you, which is like 4 by 4 by 4. But I can do that anywhere in the ship. I don't have to do it on the outside. I don't have to do it where anybody can get to it. I can come over right here on top of this and just go, let's go on this side since it's on this side, and I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, right there. So now, as you can see, it's big. It's much bigger. And if I need to add this way, I can. If I need to add any, they don't have to be connected. Like if you look right here, like you see how big it is right now? If I do this, what happens? Nothing happens. However, if I come up here, it's 5 by 5 right now, and I go out this way, you can see it's no longer the same length as it is the height, because it's the shape of the block that counts, the shape of the grouping that you make. Does that make sense? Sure it does. We can add to it as often as we need to. Selecting, coming up here, coming, and they don't have to be in any specific orientation. So I could start right here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we come out here, and you see it's the same shape as the other one. Now, one thing, the key point that you want to worry about, and I don't know if this is still the effect, I'm going to have to find that out for sure, but back in the day, it didn't matter if it stuck out the edge of your thing. When you're doing a turret, it just has to fit. Like, if the core is in the very back, as long as it's only 5 by 5 by 5, it'll still fit in there. But I think what they did now is it has to be all within the square. So you want to remember that when you build your turrets. It's a good idea also to keep the core close to the center. That way you have as much turret as you can possibly fit in there. And we're probably not going to need that much this way because they're going to be shorter than they are wide. Let me come over on the other side and do the same thing on these guys. And this is going to be our main deterrents. Is going to be up here. Now what we're going to do with the back two is we're going to be basically targeting ships and stuff like that, and they're going to be high rate of fire DPS. Up here in the front, we're going to have a high rate of fire as well, but it's not going to be high DPS because we just need to take out missiles. These are going to be our missile ones right up here. So let me come up here and we do our little thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I only need 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So now we have the 5 by 5 by 5, or 4 by 4 by 4. And we need to select this one. And this is when having the symmetry can kind of help out, because you just build it one at a time, but then you got to go back and deselect this and deselect that, and It's just a pain in the butt. So I usually just do it this way. I break it down and just do each one individually. Now we're going to have one humongous turret down here, probably about right here. Let me see what I got going on right here. Yeah, this is exactly where it's going to go. It's going to basically be right here, and it's going to be a super nasty shield bypassing damage beam. It's going to be what it does. And then up here on the top in the aft portion, probably right here, I'm going to have another one that's basically designed for ships. So just basically our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turrets, and then I'm probably going to put one little ones up here, or 2 little ones up here in the front, just to kind of like be annoying. That's going to be the main purpose of them. That's what I wanted to do with that. So now we have those. I think this is coming along pretty good. Now the problem is, like I said, I got a lot of dead space here, and I'm going to fill it up with shields. I'm going to fill it up with power. I'm going to fill it up with as much as I can get. The problem is I have to go, because I'm playing this legit. This is my harvester. Very, very minimalistic. It's got 2 damage beams. It's got a freaking missile right there. It's got cannons right there, and it's got harvester. That's it. That's what it does. And if you go on the inside, I'll show you what I did. And the main area here is I have these chests set up, and the salvage one feeds into right there, and the rest of these pull out. I'll just show you. This is so disorienting. Let's go back to flight mode, and I'll go to the ship on the back here. But you can hit the up arrow and totally get away with murder. So it'll change it to whatever ship is docked inside there. The up arrow, or the down arrow will of course go backwards. And this ship is effectively what I use to get all of my resources and assets. It's not designed to be pretty. It's designed to be functional, low profile, so that pirates in front of me and behind me have a hard time shooting at me. And basically what it does, oh, no. Yeah, thank you. Oh, no. I forgot my homing missiles were totally done up. But effectively what this one does is the salvage cannon, which is right here. Select you so you can see what it's connected to. It's connected to these 2 right here. It deposits. If this one's full, it'll go to that one. But what comes in here, if it's not hull, which I have the filter all set up for all the hulls, which took for freaking ever. Yes, it did. It goes here, or blast doors. If it's crystal hull, it goes up here. I don't remember what I have set up here. Nothing. Okay. There's a few of here in here that are set up. And nothing. I want to say that this one is. Yeah, cameras, turret, docking enhancers, Bobby AIs. These are things that you commonly find on space stations and pirates. This one has all the kinds of weapons, missile tube, whatnot. And then here I have, oh wait, this is where I was putting my stuff I used to carry around with me when I was pirate hunting, and then I got killed one day and lost almost everything, so I had to basically go get it all again, and that was really depressing. But yeah, this is all this is designed to do. That's it. That is the only thing it's designed to do. It's not designed to look pretty. It's not designed to woo people until they just want to take off their panties. It's just designed to go harvest and take out a pirate that it comes in contact with. And it's pretty functional. It's pretty accurate. It's pretty good. But we're not worrying about this puppy. Oh, come on! Don't you shoot my stuff. I'll freaking kick your butt. Yeah, but it's, you know, this episode is not about this. It's about Dreadnaught. Let's get out of here. What are you even doing, Garth? I don't know. All right. I think we're in a pretty good spot right now here, at least defensively. We just need to get those turrets built, and I need you guys' feedback on this right here. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know. You like what I did with these? You think I should do something similar over there? Over there? This is all very confusing to me because we're going in different directions now. Boom, and then we just hit the up arrow, and then we go into build mode, and then we're here. Okay, so tell me what you think of this. Should I add something like I have up here to down here? Would you like to see it taper off in the back? Would you like to, I mean, let me know. This is, you know, this is pretty much a group effort, because I'm using you guys' input, whether you like it or not. Yeah, baby! I'm just going to go ahead and block those off, because it's annoying the crap out of me. Annoying the crap out of me. Yeah, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do down here yet. I know I did blue up there, but I think I'm going to do something different. If nothing at all, I don't know. I really don't know yet. I really don't know yet. This is just kind of coming together as it comes together, you know what I mean? And I think I'm also going to add 2 larger turrets back here as well, because I have the space for it. So effectively what we'll have when we're all done is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 turrets. But 4 of those turrets will be little blinkers. They'll be like maybe 4 or 5 cannons long, maybe 4 or 5 groupings just to rapid fire. Because if you watch how pirates attack, the first thing that comes into their targeting range is what they target. So if I have 2 tiny turrets up here and I put heavy shields on them, then basically what will happen is the pirates will try to get these guys while the rest of my ship is just ripping them apart. That's the mentality I'm going under, by the way. And the camera is in the middle of these 2 blocks, at the junction of these 2 blocks right here. So that's why that's able to see without you seeing it. But I'm going to put another couple cameras in here. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your input. And a lot of what I've done has come as a result of what you guys have said. Because, like I said, you guys are freaking epic. Now, I have one more comment that I want to cover before we get out of here. And that was from, I want to say it, you say it's Dreadnaught, but I could be wrong on pronunciation on that. I think I got it, Dreadnaught. D-R-A-K-K-A-R-T. He also does pretty good builds. He does pretty good builds. I don't know what my builds are, but his builds are pretty good. I was looking at his stuff, and it's pretty nice. He does good stuff. But he said something about interior space and how I'm kind of taking the outside of my hull as the inside of my hull as the outside of my interior. And he brought up a couple good points. A lot of what a big ship like this is just going to be systems. So. And there's going to be a few places where you can actually see the interior, like first of all this right here, you can see the interior. There's going to be a couple of windows right up here, which are going to be what's manning the guns, basically. But I know they're going to be really far apart, but it's going to be like gun maintenance and junk like that. But a majority of this interior, as you can see, is not anywhere close to the hull, and I'm trying to keep it away from near the hull, because I want it to simulate kind of realism. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't put your walkways and, you know, environmental systems right up against the hull. You just don't do it. So there's going to be a little bit that comes back this way, and there's going to be a little bit that comes up this way along the edges. But, you know, we've still got, like this is for the crews of the ships that dock in here. There's 4 buildings right here, or 4 rooms right here that I don't even know what they're going to do yet. I just built them. If you build them, they will come. And then this comes up into nothing for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. There's that. Alright. But, yeah. A majority of this is going to be connected via this right here. Like to get from the front to the back of the ship, there's going to be one passageway that runs right over top here. If you wanted to bypass all of this stuff, will lead into the elevator, and these 2 will also lead into the elevator. And then up here we'll have, like from this section right here, there'll be a part that comes forward like this and over, and it'll come out right here with a window. You'll be able to see a little bit of like the maintenance room, but other than that, pretty much everything is going to be predominantly interior, which is going to leave me a whole lot of room for shields, power, what have you. I'm definitely going to beef these up, probably another 600 each. I think that'll be more than adequate. Yeah. Alright, you guys didn't give me a lot of feedback on this stuff up here, though. So, let me know what you think of that. I mean, I like it. I think it looks pretty nice, and I think I'm going to stick with it. But if you guys had a better idea, I'm not so arrogant as to say that my idea is the only one that freaking it works. And Magram also said something about, instead of having these stuck on, have them recessed a little bit. And I think that might be a good idea for some things up here. Because this is going to be a docking area, it would make sense to have things that are a little bit recessed. You know what I mean? Instead of having... I should take my finger off the shift. Instead of having things that are sticking up, you could totally have them sticking down. Like that. I think the air vents like that would make a lot of sense as well. And then to break up the color on them, totes, put a different color hull around them. Let's go with black. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Breaks up the flat surface quite a bit. I like it. Totally like it. Yeah. I do. I like that. Good idea. Appreciate you guys. You see what your feedback does for me? I can throw things like that all over the place, different shapes and whatnot. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about here. Like I said, I try to go with a little bit of realism, but it's kind of hard to do realism in the space game because, well, we don't have ships like this in space yet. So I started to use my my brain as imagination thing here. Now, the biggest thing that you're going to have in space, that you're going to have inside your ship that you don't have on the outside, is heat. And when things do things, when energy is used or whatever. Energy just doesn't disappear. It changes form, and one of the forms that it takes on is heat. The other one, of course, being light, stuff like that. But when you have all this extra heat, you can't just keep it bottled up in here because your spaceship will eventually get to the point where it's cooking everybody on the inside. So I figured that's what these vents would be for, and we could totally do something like that. Almost like a heat dispersal unit. I think that would be a great idea. As the central point in this. So have the engines be around it. There's going to be big engines in the back too. And then in the center we'll have like a heat dispersal unit. I think that would be pretty cool. That's one of the ideas that I had. So yeah, as always, appreciate your input. If you have anything to say, please feel free to say it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click that like button. It helps me out a great deal, and it lets me know that you guys care. And I know you do. Yeah, so let's tab G our way out of here so that we can look at this puppy. That thing's just messing up the whole view, isn't it? It's looking a whole lot less flat. I will say that. It's looking a whole lot less flat. The more I add to it, the better I feel about it. Uh-huh. Yeah. I like it.